Oh, you guys know what time that is.
Strong like a tree. There's roots right.
It's time to go live.
Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing gonna sleepless night.
Alrighty. We're going to get this thing going in just a few minutes, guys. About 2 minutes here. Give everybody a second to jump in. Anybody that joins late, we put a little time code down in the description that says what time the video starts, so you can jump right to that and just click on it. It becomes a link, and it takes you right to the spot in the video where it starts. So hold tight, guys. I'll be right with you.
When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. But if you want to get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell.
All right, we already got a bunch of people in the chat. Jeremiah Wright, Brett Skinner, CCXRC, Trash Can Ninja, JMRCs, AZ Froggies, JMRCs, Chris Giangelo, and JER Custom Designs, Inc.
Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon. When the sun rises.
Shady silhouetted images and industry teasers are finding their way into our homes and invading our minds. Their calculated information is delivered to feed our addiction for radio-controlled frequencies. It's an RC conspiracy. But we are on your side, cracking the RC code. Because the truth is out there. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast. Get your decoder rings ready and put on those tinfoil hats because your fearless leader is here. Please welcome your host, the lead RC conspiracist, Tony CC. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another RC Conspiracies podcast. This one, we're going to be doing a little something different. I feel like I get an echo. Echo. Let me figure that out really quick. You guys hearing the echo, or is it just me? Anyway, if you guys are hearing it, let me know, because it's really weird here on my end in the headphones. But yeah. Nope, just me. All right, well, we'll go for it, even though it sounds weird. But I figured out what it was. It is gone now, and I feel much better about that. So tonight, going to do things a little different. We're going to talk just YouTube. We're going to talk chat, whatever you guys are talking about. And then maybe we'll get over and we'll work on this guy over here. My poor, pathetic Big Rock. It's actually not in that bad of shape. I already fixed one of the shocks on it. Now I just need to put new RPM arms on it. So that's what I got to work on with that one. But other than that, it's actually doing pretty good, considering the beating that it's taken. And it looks more pathetic because the wheel's off and the body's just kind of tossed on it. And it's extremely muddy. But other than that, it's actually doing all right. So I'm going to bring myself in on accident here. Not on accident, but intentionally, because I'm going to be, when I move over there, I want to have the StreamYard so I can still see what's going on here and be able to touch the chat and do all that kind of stuff and bring it up to the front. Oh no, Chris is on a buying spree. He says he bought another RC, the Losi Ford Raptor. Oh, impulse after the laser nut. I get that. It's hard sometimes, man.
Definitely hard.
There we go. I'm out. So, yeah. So Jeremiah and people are asking about WD-40 on their cars. That's something I always do. In fact, the car that I drove today, which is a video we'll be looking at here in a minute, I got a call from somebody today asking a little bit about editing and things like that. And I thought, maybe this would be a good time to go through and kind of show my edit process again. YouTube's got a new feature to show you guys. We can talk about that, what that means. Got my new merch on. Which side? Nope, this side. So Brett Skinner has joined the Broken Axle Club. He was saying that he broke his axle on his LMT. And there's been quite a few people doing that. And then there's been a lot of people who haven't been. So it's kind of been hit or miss. I still say that there's quite a bit of durability for a solid axle truck. They tend to break, whether it's a crawler or some of the other ones, it just happens. It's a different ball game than the other bashers. Do the LMT axles have some adjustments that could be made? I think so. There's not a whole lot of bracing internally, and there's a whole lot of open space. They are a little thin, but a lot of things are made thin. It's based on weight, and that's a big axle. If the whole thing is really thick, then you're going to add extra weight. So it's kind of a toss-up. They were kind of built in a way for racing and speed and performance, and they didn't ever expect us to be launching them like I was doing with it. And probably wrongfully so. We get out there and we get something, and we make the world believe that it can do one thing that it's not meant for. We had perfect conditions, but we also broke it, and we showed that we broke it. So that was the break point, is when you started taking off the big stuff started to break. But for a lot of the other stuff that I did, I bashed it for 2 months without breaking it at all, except for the front grille when I ran into a tree doing a speed run. But yeah. So there was, probably on my part, a little bit of wrongdoing in the hype of how durable it was, because I really was shocked at what we were able to throw at it before it broke. Now, what I didn't know, and what we couldn't see probably too, is when during that bash it may have actually cracked before it actually gave way the rest of the way for the break, because we did go through like 2-3 battery packs in it at like full tilt like we were doing. So but again, I had done mainly smaller jumps, more scale jumps with it, more backflips and freestyle and that kind of stuff. And I got a solid 2 months. I did some tree flips, and I did a bunch of them. I posted the video of it, and that one landed weird a lot because you could never get the same approach to the tree because of the little hill I had in front of it. So sometimes I'd hit and go crooked and land on a side wheel. And so I was actually really very surprised at how well it did. I did start to get some of the little chips where the diff removal part is, that center plate. Started to get the little chips in the corners from the axle flexing. But there's something kind of addressed beforehand. And, I warned everybody, you want to get axle braces. If you're going to beat this up, axles are going to break. And so JER made an axle brace version. Freestyle RC has made a brace version. They work differently in the way that the application of them works. And I haven't broken an axle with either of them. So there's that. But I haven't also been bashing it like I did the first time. And I'm watching people just send it. So in fact, I just watched the video with Exo Cage where he put in a 4S motor, Holmes motor, 2100 kV. So he lowered the kV. He's running it at 4S. He's getting about the same speeds as we're getting with 3S on the stock motor, but he's gotten rid of the cogging, which really drove him crazy. It doesn't bother me that much. I'm not driving it slow usually. So, yeah. Right now we're talking about the LMT because that's what people came into the chat talking about. I do want to eventually work on the Big Rock and talk about that, but it's actually just getting stuff done. That was just my image because if I do work on a truck, that's what I'm going to work on tonight because I need to change that over. And I do have an RPM arms for that. Not because that was my first choice. I actually went to my hobby shop and bought some. And they said they didn't have them in stock. And then they said, well, these are the wrong ones anyway. And so they gave me other ones, but they're for the old Big Rock. So they're too short. So I just ordered what said they were for the V3 and they were RPM ones. So I wasn't about to make the trip again. It's 45 minutes and I don't have a reason to be down there this week. So I just had to order some online so I could get it fixed. But it was just a broken arm. Very simple. So the difference is that's not a broken axle, but it is in a way. It's kind of the same as when we break the LMT. The break point for these is a lot higher. The way that these are built, they are thicker. And so people are like, well, why don't you use thick plastics for the LMT? Look at the arms on a Big Rock. Well, the Big Rock doesn't use basically structural engineering in the height of it and the width of it, that extra width and the round shape and all of that, which gives it more bracing. But could it be stronger? I think it could. So yeah. RPM axles. Well, the problem with the LMT axles is the flex right now. And the problem with RPM axles would be the flex. So that's, kind of where the issue draws in. Maybe it'll be more rubbery and won't crack, but you're probably going to get stress on other things with the amount of flex across something like that. So that would be my worry with the RPM ones, because what people like about them is that they're flexible. What wouldn't work in a solid axle platform would be flexibility. If you get what I'm saying. It's just a different game. So what it needs is axle braces, just because it is flexing right there where those 3 points meet. And if you can keep it from flexing there at that point, it's kind of the weak point when you do hit something. The difference would be, again, as JER is saying, and something I've said is, the way that it would be stronger is if they didn't make it so many pieces, kind of like Treel did, where they got rid of those two side pieces that are removable. There's just too many joints. Weston says he just broke the front differential housing completely out of my low C10MT, did a backflip and no body, and it folded. Surprisingly, the body can act in a way like a brace, but it also takes some of the impact depending on how you land it. What's going on, Buck? So I did something different today. I didn't drive my LMT and I didn't drive any of my other solid axle trucks. Instead, I took out my Outcast, and there's a couple reasons why I chose to do that. And we'll look at that really quickly. Let me pull up the window I'm looking for, and we can talk about that for a minute. When I came onto YouTube, and it's actually not going to show up. It's not going to show up. I don't think on my computer. So when I came up on YouTube today, on my phone, I noticed that there were shorts on here, short videos. There's kind of a row of them right here, down from the top a little bit. So you have different videos. There's ShenRCs. There's the stories. And then there was this thing called short videos. And I'm behind the game. I've seen some other people do it. And I was wondering why they hashtag short video and all of it. But the reason is because it puts it in that short videos part of the YouTube. And I was noticing that there's a lot of people who don't have a lot of subscribers that have a ton of views in this short video thing. And so it's getting a whole different play on YouTube, and they're really pushing it really hard. And I'm sure it drives subscribers and drives a bunch of things. So if you guys are looking to drive content, and not drive content, but drive content, but that will drive people to your page, I think looking into these shorts is something to do, trying to stay with the times. YouTube's trying to play the game of TikTok and Instagram Reels and all of that stuff. I don't know how much, they should put their energy into it, because they really have the long form game going for them, and people come to it for that. I think it's going to really muddy up the waters again with a bunch of short stuff on here that people aren't going to sit at their TV to watch. I don't know. I don't go on TikTok. I'm not for people watching people dance and do all that kind of stuff. It's not my thing. I come on for instructional stuff. But if you want to grow, then you can, it seems to be something that they're pushing, and it might be worth checking out. And that's something I'm looking into. So I thought, what could I do? It's muddy, it's rainy, whatever. I don't want to get a lot of trucks muddy. Well, the Outcast would be fun in the mud. Easy enough to clean down, pretty durable. Let's take that out. So I did. Kevin Mendez, I saw, he says he just got his Trial axles in. RC4 all number shorts are thumbs up. Yeah, it's definitely something that's getting views. It's getting, I think, subscribers, even stories. They're really pushing stories. Like YouTube tells you, oh, you got this many subscribers from this story, you should do more stories. And they're a pain to do. I don't do them on Instagram because they're a pain in the butt. It's just like, it's not what I got on YouTube to do. So I begrudgingly am trying to do it some, because I can see that the algorithm works for it right now. I think they may change their mind when they realize that advertising doesn't make as much money for that stuff. I don't know. We'll see. You have people that are just on for a quick hit and then gone. Maybe they get more advertising because they're just hammering it out every 15 seconds. You have to wait I don't know. Raquel's telling everybody something. I missed it. So yeah, definitely something to look into. Tank is listening and editing at the same time. That's awesome. But yeah, so if you put hashtag shorts at the end of your title, it gets picked up as a short. Yeah, Chris Watson wants to see a CCXRC TikTok dance video. That ain't happening. Not in 100 years, man. Yeah, it could be a good way to preview a channel. It could. It's just, they have to be under a minute. So now the question is, are people going to watch my longer videos because, oh, I just won't watch the short versions or the quick cuts of something? I just feel like it has the possibility of changing YouTube, and I don't know if that's good or bad. So everything has to be waited out and see how long it lasts. Google Plus didn't last for them very long. So I kind of did it as a teaser. So I'll pull one up here. It's not actually showing up. I'm looking right now in my preview. I don't see shorts showing up. It must be something just for the phone, people on their phone, because I'm not seeing it in the main area. So that's good. All right. So I'm gonna go back here. We can show you what I've got. All right. So over on my page, I actually didn't put it in anything that would show up because it's upright. It's also supposed to be upright. So where did I put it? I put it way down. It only has one video. Thought I added it. Nope. It did not save. All right. So I'll just go to my playlist here and shorts. So this is what I did. You can still have advertisements and stuff up in the little corner, but it's an upright video, which I think is absolutely obnoxious. I don't think I want to live in a world where there's upright video, but it's a thing. As a filmmaker, it drives me absolutely crazy that that's kind of what the medium has become. We've gone so long trying to make it wider, and now it's gone more vertical, and that's just crazy to me. So again, it's just a quick teaser. Oh, perfectly greased it. So that's all it is. It's 20 some seconds of that that I pulled out, and I had to actually make a window here that was going to be an upright, basically twist it, and then crop every single piece of footage that I shot today, which means you're not going to be shooting in close-ups, right? Because then it won't work in this mode. So if you're shooting landscape and you do any close-ups, it's not going to be something you can use in this type of format. So big BRC. I wonder if Viviton will ever get into LMT parts. Viviton is supposed to be making axles. Troy Hobbies, the JER braces held up. I did have the little tabs underneath the four link break off, but none of the axles broke. And actually, when I tested it after they came off anyway, I don't think that it's actually necessary. The way that that jams itself in there so tight between the two edges, it kind of locks it up, the axle there, and kind of prevents the movement of it. Now, the only prevention that it does without that brace, though, is inward. So if you land like pogo, if you clipped something with the rear, like, and it pulled, it would still be able to open up a little bit. But I haven't had that be my issue yet. It's always been a pogo or straight into something. So it should in most instances. But he also made that tab thicker since then. So, yeah. Alexander Alvarez asks, what's the best basher for under $400? My opinion is this one right here, the Big Rock by ARRMA, the 3S Big Rock. She says to check the RC Conspiracies page. For whatever it is. JER says the same thing. He says Big Rock. Oh, the Bari. Oh, okay. We can show this. This isn't a big deal. So just announced are the Trio 7075 knuckles. They're also working on a steering linkage as well. That's going to be 7075. The price on that's not bad, actually. $42.98 for them. I don't think it's too bad. I don't plan to get them, and I was actually talking with JER about this. Jason from JER. That's kind of an easy break point for me. It's 2 pins to fix it, and a screw to the steering link. Super easy to get in there. If you break it, it's kind of like an easy break point. If I totally bulletproof the front end of my truck, I'm either going to break my servo if my servo saver in that, takes the hit. It doesn't always save it depending on how hard the hit is. And all that force, instead of breaking off that, is going to break my $150 servo, or I break an $8, $10 steering knuckle. But if you hit that metal thing, it breaks your horn off or strips your horn. At some point, depending on the hit, it's still that all locks at some point. And if it doesn't break, you're either going to break your wheel, which isn't cheap, and then you have to glue a new tire, and that's a pain in the butt, or it's going to crumple back and bend your forelinks or even your chassis. And the forelink, the upper is really kind of annoying to get to on this. So quickest fix, easiest fix for me is the knuckles. The only problem I have with the stock knuckle is that it's not a threaded kingpin, but you can put threaded kingpins in, and I would rather do that to my stock ones. So that's my take on it. Instead of spending $43, I think it's unnecessary. I think it's cool. They look mint. So for people that love to go all metal, that's their thing. I'm kind of not for it. I just needed stronger axles, but again, stuff needs to break. Because it's just gonna, even if it doesn't break, it's just gonna cause so much wear on your just everything from your rod ends to the holes where the forelinks go into the chassis, all that kind of stuff. So that was the one thing she posted, and then the other was the new stickers from Bari, and they do look really good. The colors are so nice on it. The blacks fade right into the body, and those look super good. I could swear. So our local hobby shop has the bodies in store that you can buy for these, and I swear that the stickers on the bodies seemed more black. They weren't on. Sorry, they weren't installed. They were just stickers in the bag. Maybe because there's not a black to reference it off of, like a black body, and you're looking through kind of foggy. It's not super clear plastic bags that they're in, but it seemed blacker. I want to take my truck in, or a truck, and compare it. But has anybody else seen the clear bodies in the store for these yet? Joshua Sanford says all that force has to go somewhere. Yeah, and JER was saying that it would go to your steering link, and that's true depending on which way it hits on it. If it pushes inward, it's going to more likely, but if it's pulling out, it's going to more go. So if you hit your wheel and it jams in, if it's the impact is jamming in, I think it'll drive it to the servo. But if it's open and it hits, I feel like it's going to drive it back into. It'll still pull on the servo horn and all of that, but it's going to also pull it back into the forelink and the chassis. But they do look really good. But for what I do with them, it's not something I need. Chris asked if I've ever tried the Baja trucks. I haven't. And I really think the 10 scale ones are kind of one of the more underappreciated trucks on the market. I don't ever see people talk about them, and they look really awesome, and I need to get into it. But the big ones, the Super Baja Ray, that's where, I mean, those are the ones that really get my attention. So Kevin had asked earlier if the Trio steering knuckles, if I'd be testing early production. I would not be. But yeah, I bought the last ones, and it wasn't early. I just bought them when they came out, and I got them so they'd ship on the first date when they came in, and that worked out for me. But yeah, so RC4L saying make sure that you film it in vertical. I never film in vertical, so the only way that I'll do a story is afterward, bring it into my computer, like this, and then editing it. So you can, I've just cropped all of them and kind of made it work as best I could. It's tough to film on vertical. Everything's so small to try and keep it in frame, especially when you're filming yourself and you're not looking at it. You need that room. I'm better off shooting it wide angle and then going in and making the adjustment after. So that's what I had to do with this one. So anyway, I thought after having the one person that had reached out to me about some of the editing stuff, kind of go through my workflow and why I like Final Cut so much, because there's a lot of people that bashed it, especially when it first came out. And for us RC people and YouTubers, I'm one of those guys, if I don't get something done right away, it's not going to get done, because I've moved on and I've run other cars, I've shot other stuff that I'd rather edit that night. So if I don't shoot it and edit it in the same day, the chances of it being edited the next day go down to 50%. The day after that, it's probably down to like 15. I mean, it exponentially goes downward if I don't get to it. So I really need to pump stuff out. And when I left my job, when I first did it, I bought a PC because it was cheaper. You know, I could get it for half the price, had the same specs basically. And but I had to pay for Adobe Premiere, which is a monthly cost, which in the end makes it more expensive going that route, honestly. But we'll talk about that in a minute, because I paid for Final Cut the one time when it first came out. The first year when it first came out, I bought it. It was $300, and I've never paid another cent for it. And I've gotten upgrades, and I can have it on multiple computers that I'm logged into and run it. It's insane. That one $300 investment has paid off so huge for me. I can use it for business. I can use it for whatever, but it's really the speed at which you can work that changes everything. And I could not do it in Premiere. And there's a couple reasons why. Shooting on your iPhone, way harder. I can go through all this stuff if you guys want to see kind of the easiness of this workflow. But being able to just plug my iPhone into my computer, it reads it like a camera, lets me take those videos off right into here. And while it's importing the video, I can actually be editing it before it's even imported onto the computer. With Premiere, I've got to take my phone, which is a real pain, get some special software, and then it puts it into weird, 900 folders, and I'm digging through trying to find the stuff. And then I finally get it all, and I have to copy it. I have to wait for it to finish into a folder. Then I can create a project that I can bring that into to work with. And then even the getting it from the timeline down to the timeline, or from the viewer window down to the timeline, is just more work than it needs to be. And it stops everything. And that's a big time suck. So I've learned to shoot for Final Cut in a way that allows me to get a workflow that works so awesome, especially for remote control car videos, but it works, in my day job as well. So Normally people would stop and shoot different angles of the same thing, but I shoot them all in one take because I don't have to dig for different clips. So if I see something happening, I shoot it kind of as the wide, but then I pop in and get my tight shot as well and just keep it going on the same thing because of how I can work through the clips in Final Cut. It's just something I've learned. See you, Jeremiah. All right, windstorms here. Big America. He's got his LMT. It's going to be awesome. Got some welding to do for it. So I can work on the Big Rock, but I kind of wanted to go through this just as a kind of quick help for people to see how this works. And I've got kind of a timeline laid out here. That is a quick one. That's just the clips that I pulled in, and I did this in no time at all to make my story. So the first thing I'm going to do is I shot everything 60p because I want to be able to shoot it 4K 30, and it's going to be able to do slow motion. So when I create my project, I'm going to do 4K at 30p. And organization, guys, is also huge, especially working with Final Cut. So I'm going to copy this, and I name everything based on a number ordering system so that they all line up in my folders based on number. So this is my 816th video that I've shot. Check the comments here. Yeah, Kevin broke his LMT. He did kiss that the side of that jump though. He clipped it with the wheel in the cold, in the snow. So it was kind of bound to happen. So basically I've got all my clips in here, and basically all I did was plug in my memory card and import them from there. Real easy. And they all just come into here, and I can quickly scrub through them, and you can zoom in or zoom out these to see more of the clips. I usually keep them small. I don't need to see. I just want to see each individual one. And what I've done is I've gone through. Take a break from this work and rip the outcast. Let's do it. And I usually do it in like double time. So using the JKL keys are like rewind, play, fast forward. And so I just use those. And so right here, I know it's going to be my endpoint. Hey, what is going on, guys? Tony here. Welcome to another episode of CCXRC. Today I'm up here in the office getting some work done. It's a little bit of a mess up here. Have a lot going on, a lot of projects. But I'm ready to take a break and get out there and rip one of my cars out in the mud. So let's go do it. So that's all I need right there. Hit E. I can go to the next one. And here you get a little teaser. Sneak peek. Sneak peek. The ER knows what that is. So let's go do it. Sneak peek. I've got a couple other little things that I did. Had you seen this one yet? So I'm just going to roll through a few different things. So many things to get to. And then I'm trying to change my videos up a little bit too, to give kind of a little bit more just the running of the RCs, give you guys a little behind the scenes as well in them. So I'm actually going to make this a little bigger so you can see it better. Paul Clancy. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. The new Mad Van, it's, I think the VE version is the version he's talking about. And so I looked at the pricing on the original one, and on the Kyosho site it says it's $324, but they're selling it here for like $220. So if the new VE is saying that it's $380 on that site, I wonder if it's going to be more like $280 or $300, which is a much more reasonable price for that. Questions. All right, let's get back in on this. All right, so this is my little wall of see the sneak in here. See what that one is. Sticker Bomb 125th Spin Master toy. I just sticker bombed it. A little. You guys know that I had a little wall of the 125th scale Monster Jam things here in the office. Stick that somewhere in here. It wasn't as high energy, so I'll kind of stick it in the middle. Super sneak peek. Need to get super sneak peek. Need to get back to this one. All right. Joshua Revels asks, what steering servo do you use? In my LMT and in real big bashers, I use the Reef Raw 500. So these are a bunch of boxes I had to send to J Concepts today. Had to say goodbye to their awesome vehicles that they'd sent. Oh, Paul Clancy, it was OMGRC that had it for $280. He had it for pre-order. The Demon 60 kg that JER is referring to is about the same specs as the raw one that I use. All right. So back into this. I didn't film something here for some reason. That didn't work. Our batteries. Oh, it's my new metal Bigfoot sign that I ordered this Christmas. I'm going to throw some of these in here. So here's the thing that I'm able to do that you can't do in Final Cut. And I'm try and make this work. But I can let this keep rolling, and I can select in and out points and drop them down to my timeline and not stop actually editing, which is huge in the time saver. So I just roll all of this. Get any of this. Got a whole stack of boxes set here. Got to ship back to J Concepts. Some batteries ready, and I don't actually use those batteries. Which saying no to these cars. No. So I'm saying in and out, and I'm dropping it down to my timeline. No. Fast forward. Maybe. Need a new servo. That could be fun. Don't really want to get it too dirty, though. These would be great. Aha! Winner. Let's go bash this one. All right. So I don't need any of this footage. I can literally just sit there, and I've just dropped in all of these clips. Got a whole stack of boxes set here. Got to ship back to J Concepts. No. Maybe. Need a new servo. That could be fun. Don't really want to get it too dirty, though. These would be great. So I can just quickly, I was just setting in and out, and as it was going, and I can do it again with this one. The trick is I'm using... All right, let's get one of the batteries out of the bat safe, I think, in here. Aha, yes. This should do. Drop that in, and I just hit fast forward, get over to here. Still haven't taken my fingers off the keyboard yet, or had to change and pull for my mouse. Dropped it in. Fast forward. This is the only way that I can get this many videos done. Is to be able to start. Pop them off. Good to go. Oops, and I didn't want to hit end on that. Which controller has the outcast in it? Which one of these is it going to be? Not this one, it's too new. Maybe my oldest one. Let's see. Drop that in. Last thing we drove. Here we go. Outcast. Boom. And that's all that I'm going to use from that clip. Put batteries in. Throw a battery and throw the batteries in. Fast forward to the end of that. 6S of insanity. That's good. Fast forward. There's always a pop. There it was. All right. There we go. So that quickly, I'm just kind of hammering through this edit. Something in here. Aha. Yes. Start. Top them off. Good to go. The last thing we drove. Here we go. Outcast. And throw the batteries in. 6S of insanity. There's always a pop. There it was. So normally for me to do something like this, it would take a whole lot more. I was doing it in Premiere because I can't shuttle around this with my keyboard so fast. And every time I drop, time I drop a clip from up in the top over into the timeline, it would go to the timeline. And then I have to click back on the clip, hit play again, find the spot I want to go. I can't just keep fast forwarding and dropping as it's going and insert in, out. So basically I'm hitting I for like the beginning, O for the output. So input, output on the video. And then I hit E and it drops it in the timeline. You never overwrite at this. It always puts it to the end. If for some reason in Premiere, you move your cursor down the timeline and then you start inserting, you start overwriting things from that point. It's so destructive. So it's just a really cool way to just get moving through this. So I'll be able to hammer through this. This is just my intro. Throw the batteries in. Kind of make it a little bit more fun than normal. And actually, that was the wrong controller when I turned it on. All right, now we're ready. I have it bound in here as well. Would you look at that? I have it bound in here as well. So I had the wrong controller. It was the green one. All right, now we're ready. All right, so do that. Move down to the next clip, which is this one. And I know that this wasn't the right take. I redid it, so I walked back. So I'm going to just go back to there, and I've already put a marker in. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, am I excited about this, guys. I have not driven something 6S in a while. Actually, while I'm over here, show you the... This is the new sandbox we just put in for the boys. Went with the kind of natural look. Big stones. They're older now. They don't need the playground to be the same. So they're doing more like military stuff and formations and things in there. Having fun with their little green men. But yeah. 6S power. It's been a while. It's going to be a little hard for me to control. I'm sure of it. But we'll get it nice and muddy. Seems like the perfect truck. ARRMA. Go out here and throw some mud. Right, so that's going to be the end of like the intro. A little bit of a long intro. We'll throw some music down. whatever. Trying to give a little bit more personality than just a bash video. I feel like I'm doing the video version of Scale Builders Guild right now. So this is all going to be upside down, which is annoying. I got some cool pans over and around, and then take off for slow motion. Start in the front, wrap around the back, and it tears off. So we're going to drop that in. I don't think I really liked anything else that I did here. It was all kind of slow. There was one splash through a puddle. Missed it. That I'll use. But in and out points, that's what it is. That's saying insert output, in and out. I'm not going to use any of that. Somewhere in here, I throw dirt all over myself. All right, so that's the end of that clip. Went ahead and ended that clip just in case. Oh, that's not it. Here it is. Well, that just happened. Super buddy. I was trashed by the end of it. I was supposed to take the kids to the music lessons, so that was fun. All right, does anybody have any questions about this? Is anybody interested in editing or not really? I'm not even showing it. See you, Chris. Chrissy, thanks, man. More interesting. So here was the rock garden. This is the new sandbox we just put in for the boys. Went with the kind of natural look. Big. This is the truck shot around. All of this has to be flipped. So what I'll do is I'll flip one of them like so, and then I'm just going to copy and paste that to these ones so that it'll make them all upright as well. So all this will be slow motion. So what I use, and a lot of people use a lot of different things for music because I have a lot of clients and stuff. I use my window go. Close this one. There it is. I use either Epidemic Sound or I use artlist.io. Both of them are paid. I pay for both of them. They have different music on each one. I typically, for my videos, like Epidemic Sound. And one of the coolest things about it is that it kind of learns the stuff that you're using. So when I log in, these say for your YouTube channel right here. It gives me these like angry hard rock alternative. That's an option. I don't like that one so much. Two 80s, early 90s or 90s. That's got a cool groove that could work with the Mud Bash. All right, see you. Tim needs a hobby. So something like that. I've already grabbed some. I was just showing you what I use because people always ask where you get your music from. And so that's what I use. And it's a monthly payment to Epidemic Sound. Angsty Junior High, says RC Amigos. So Kevin says you're definitely taking some of the dread away for a newbie filming and editing for the first time. So yeah, I do want to show we did break it. I did break it. I basically ripped the bumper off. But there's one thing I want to show you before we move on. And I kind of want to do it slow motion. Let me find it. That's it. It's that in and out, and then slow motion keyboard shortcut. That quickly, I'm in slow motion. I've got my music already here. You know, I think I'm liking the song we were just listening to a little better for this. Let's take this foxtrot. So now it's downloading. And the cool thing about this as well is Final Cut is you literally just drag it in here and it automatically stores it with all of your media. All right, it's always too loud. Crotch shot. Super buddy. Here we go. I was trying the past couple takes to make this landing. So I was super stoked about it. Super stoked. Clipped it a little, but I got it down on there some. I was going for it. So like 3 in a row, and I slammed it a few times, and my goal was to grease it a little bit. Guy is in here. So I was doing this for you, buddy. And we're actually about ready to go move in and work on the Big Rock. But I was just showing my workflow to make editing through here very fast and efficient for getting through footage. But basically, what I love about this software, and I can show it best from this clip, is I can literally let it roll. And when I see it, I know something's coming up. I'll hit I for in, let it roll through, and I put an output there because I may not want what's next. May be kind of boring. So far, it's not, so I let it keep rolling. And still rolling. I think this would be okay with music under it. Out there's a little boring. If it lands here, I'll hit out, drop in my timeline, fast forward a little, find a new insert point, hit I, and then I keep rolling. And when I'm ready for my output point, I'll just hit O. I don't mind letting some of that roll. Yeah, it's kind of boring. It doesn't go anywhere. So I'm going to out right here, drop it, fast forward through all that. Look for my next kind of cool hit. Here I'll hit in, out, new out right there. Keep going, but it's all just keyboard commands. I don't take my hands, both hands stay on the keyboard the whole time. That's stop it, and we'll start it here. Fast forward through all that. This will probably be my intro. That's what really got me muddy. I'll just drop it in right here. I'll leave it where it was. Anyway, yeah, I did break the Big Rock. You guys want to see that? Let me mic up. And we'll go and look at it. So that is what I love so much about Final Cut. and how quickly you can get stuff done in there. I'll have that video done, and you know, a lot of people talk about how they edit, you know, for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and I'll cut through that video in probably less than an hour in Final Cut. The other thing is how quickly Final Cut exports. It's stupid fast at exporting. My camera died, I think. It's weird. All right, so I'm going to go over now, and we're going to pick up the other camera, turn on the audio for it, and we'll get that set up. Just give me 1 second. All right. You hear me now? I think you should. Yeah, the Big Rock's looking a little sad. All right, hopefully the echo's gone now. Is it gone? All right, cool. I had two mics on at one time. I forgot to turn the other one off. All right, so I do have my trusty iPad, so we can still see all the comments and everything. I did not have time to clean it off. Well, I probably had time to, but I didn't clean it off. That's the difference. All right, let's get in here and see what we got to work with. So basically, we broke this A-arm, and I had also broken the top of the shock off right up here. This little top piece. So I had to replace the whole body, which wasn't that hard to do. And I did it on another live video while I was chatting with people. So that was when I did it. Yeah, I'm on a wireless microphone. It's not going to be as good of an audio. It's just what it is in order to be over here and work and not have a microphone in front of my face where I can't work on this stuff. The whole thing with the other one is it's all about proximity. And this one doesn't give you that proximity. But this is all running through the camera audio back through HDMI to the computer I was just sitting at. So everything's actually working. I can show you guys, I think. Don't judge me for how trashed everything is. Oh my God. Didn't think about that cable. Ugh. There. Now I've got, now this cable. Too many wires. That's Command Central, where everything is working for the show is all running into the soundboard here. All the video stuff's run through that little guy. And then it shows it up on the TV here so I can see what's going on. But that camera, for some reason, went kaput. Now that's not quality content right there. That's a messy. Give me 1 second. When I come to sit back down here and this thing is not working, that won't be fun. So, how many of you guys have the Big Rock? Show of hands. I know Guy has one. He's trying to get some cool, bigger wheels and stuff going for his. Being smart about it. Wants the big hexes. Have more tire options that way. Makes a lot of sense. Only thing I really want to run are some of those like Badlands style tires on it. Sorry, I'm still working on this camera, trying to get it running. All right, it's running again. It's running. I got it fixed. So if I go back over there, it'll work. All right. Time to get fixing. Sell the adapters. People have the older versions. Lauren was raising his hands. Addicted to RC. Josh Sanford is judging. Yeah, dude, your stuff's always so clean. Mine is the opposite of clean. My garage was also in all that footage was not clean. Although when I got rid of those J Concepts boxes, that freed up a ton of space in there. All right, so basically, I'm going to fix these one at a time. I have to replace them both because I am changing it. So we have to get these knuckles off of here. And that is just a little, basically a holder screw so we can then push through the pin that is in here. Man, they did not make that. I need to go get my pin tools. I don't think I'm going to be able to bite. Oh, I did get enough bite. Okay. So basically, you just got to pull this little pin out. But I thought it was going to be a lot harder than that. All right, so that one is out. That was that easy. I've already taken off the shock, and because I broke the front off, it was easy. You do have to take off a few things on the inside in order to do that normally. Normally. Well used and having fun. Yeah, I need to stop working so much so I can clean up. I never stop what I'm doing to just never stop what I'm doing to clean up. That's the problem. RC for all. Are RPM arms better? Meh. It's hit or miss, what people say. Some people don't like it bending because it can make other things break and bend, but I haven't found that to be the case. So these are for the Typhon 4x4, which had the longer arms, which is why the Big Rock is now using those, and that's what we're going to switch to. It doesn't look like it matters which way they go. Doesn't look like it matters. They're identical. So we're going to go ahead and put it this way. That pin goes in through the back side, so we have to line this in to here. We're going to have to push the pin back through. This happens a little bit differently. They have a different screw that you have to use to bite that in, I think. I think it's a little bigger. These can sometimes be a pain to line everything up, not going to lie. When I did this with my last ones that I went to these arms, it took me a while to finally line it up right. Anybody have any tips or tricks that they would like to share would be awesome. Because I know that this is a definite struggle. All right, so I need toward the front here more. There it went. I gotta get the next one to line up. What I need is something to push against other than my hand. There it goes. That wasn't too painless. He lies. As he says, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. WD-40. Your tips are not very helpful, guys. Oh, crap. The drive shaft came out. I got to make sure it's in phase. Doesn't matter. Actually, here. Go. All right. Put the shock in the outer one. Hammer, tappy, tap, tap. I like that. Comes from Dutch. I heard Outsource RC saying that if you drill too fast, that it heats up the plastic and it melts it. The threads. I'd never heard that for using an electric one of these as far as the speeds. Of course, I'm not using a drill. I'm just using a screw driver that doesn't go at a very high rate of speed. So we'll see. That's crazy that your MacBook Pro powers all that. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. That thing is quite a beast of a computer. So what I can do is if I wanted, I could look and see kind of where the other shock lined up, and it would have been on the inner one. It all depends how you want it to handle. So if I want it to stand a little taller, I could put it on the inner one. And probably I do because I'm airing it out so big. I want to at least match the stock one, so I will put them on the inside. Tony 2 time. Where's JMRCs when you need them? There we go. So now I'd taken this apart before realizing that I had the wrong parts. And it's not too bad to do. I'm going to raise this all up. And we'll look down here. I will say that filmmaking does not make for having things very cleanly because you do have cables and wires everywhere. So we have to remove quite a few of these. It's not removable, and I didn't actually put them in all the way, so hopefully this is quick. I like to store them off to the side, but kind of in the configuration that they were in. I put in further than I thought I did. That's a long screw right there. That's half the cost of the car, I bet. These ones aren't quite as long. But still pretty long. This is going to peel back. like so. Got to pull out here because there's a tab that goes under, 2 tabs. Then we're able to get into this plate. We'll remove this plate so we can get these hinge pins out of here. All right. All right, 1. And 2. Gonna also slide this on out. All right, first try. I like the Lego Movie. All right, so now I need to be careful because my drive shaft decided to exit again. All right, we're in phase. Slide these in. Much easier to line up. There we go. That's the first one. Now we'll kind of basically do that same process, but with this other one, and we'll have these switched out pretty quick. We've already got the pin accessible. I'm taking a smaller driver bit than the one that's the 2 mil. Clean that out from the dirt that I jammed in there with my bash session. I'm going to take off this shock. Put that screw right back in the shock so we don't lose it. And then if you got a friend that's still running these, you can donate these to the cause. 7 mil wrench, I believe. Yep. These ProTech, they're about $50. But if you get a really tight one, you can put your other wrench through it like this. You get a T-handle out of it. You can really put some torque on them. I know I need them for a lot of the bigger scale cars. See a Shen RC. Great video, by the way, on the axle breakages. If you guys aren't subscribed to Shen RC, I highly recommend leaving here and going and doing it now. All right, so that's what I didn't do on the other one, actually, is I didn't put in this screw. I want to see if this stock one will fit. Because they gave ones, they don't. That's a bummer. And RPM cheaped out and gave us Phillips. I wonder if I got one of those in my tool bag. Need to go looking through my granddaddy's tool bag to find a Phillips. From that time he built his house back in 1850. All right, so I do need to install this Phillips that I'm making fun of. It's going to hold our pin. Hopefully we'll never have to remove it again. Be out on the trail and I won't have a Phillips driver. And the day will be done. And it will not be ARRMA's fault. No, 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 it will not be ARRMA's fault. It will be RPM's fault. All right, so we removed one. Now we've got to push this through. I've got to find where that pin is, the little hole here. Push it through. It is. There it goes. That one came out a lot easier. I forced it in there. All right. All right, pop that off of here. I'm going to have to pull this pin out of here as well. Man, this is just flake and dirt. I have so much clay here. On this one, we'll start with this side. No, actually we won't, because it's going to be harder to get this in right and get that pin if we're being held back by anything. We want as much mobility right now as we can possibly get. As we go back to our tap-tap-aroo. Oh, shut up. That thing went straight in. My ancient Phillips driver here. From olden times. There it goes. That wasn't too bad. You guys probably just saw a lot of my hand, though. Not what was actually being done. I should probably come from the other side since I'm right-handed. It'd be easier to shield from the camera. Next time I will line up the holes. Try and phase these up a little bit, right? Pretending to know what I'm talking about. Get our phasers out. Pretty sure it's something in Star Wars. Beautiful. Look at that modern day hammer. Used to be a Phillips driver. YouTube does have some great videos on drive shaft phasing. Just want to make sure that they are in phase because you get some wonkiness going on. You get some wobble in that drive shaft. So we're trying to avoid that. Basically, we're just going to reverse engineer everything here. However we took it apart, we're going to try and make it go back together. I grew up never working on cars. We did woodworking with my dad, but we didn't ever work on any electrical stuff, any mechanical type stuff. So I'll tell you, it has been a learning experience for me getting into RC and learning all of this stuff 7 years ago. When I broke my first Stampede, I broke a knuckle or a carrier hub. I don't remember which one now. And basically I got out of the country somewhere and I handed it to my dad and said, hey, take it up and see what parts I need and have them fix it for me. Because I knew that they worked on them there. And Josh Williams, I won't forget it. It was him. Handed my dad the parts he needed and said, oh, he can fix it. And so my dad just brought it back. Said, they said you could fix it. And he and I sat down together and took it all apart and realized it wasn't that difficult. And it's kind of what I say about photography or video editing. Some people get so worried about doing everything like, oh, it's got to be so technical. Those rules, you know, you break a lot of the rules once you know what they are and you've learned them. You don't really live by them. They're just a guide. Same for editing, whatever. You know, YouTube and all that breaks all the editing rules that they would teach you. All the jump cutting and all that.
So it doesn't even matter, man. But it's just about getting in there and doing it. Same with photography, especially with flash photography. Such a worry. It's really about increasing or decreasing the amount of light coming into the camera to get it set up how you want the background, and then adding light until you're satisfied with how it looks. It's really, when you bring it down to it, that's what it is. You set your background lighting, and then you come back in and you fill in until you get the exposure you want on the person. That's the nuts and bolts of it. That's not a solid. Oh, Kaylin. Yeah, this is not a solid. This is my Big Rock anger management RC. When you need to see a shrink, you call up Big Rock and you take it out and you thrash it. Jessica's garage, 2-car garage, Xmas Day or Christmas Day '94. Got a stampede, broke the caster block in minutes. Yeah, I hit a curb. I'm sure of it. Well, I know I hit a curb. That's what I did. Hit the curb. But those things, you can't steer them, and that's something you have to learn. Is that when you have power on that 2-wheel drive monster truck, the front end isn't touching the ground, and so you are not able to steer. All you want, you can turn those wheels. She ain't moving. Sweet. So now we've gone and we've installed RPM front arms. Didn't take very long at all. Everybody was worried, am I going to get it fixed? Looks mean. Guess what, guys? This is going to go right back in the garage like this. And it'll sit till I run it. And then I'll clean it. I'm all dirty. You guys made me get my hands dirty. I did not have a manual speed control. Did not. So, do I go back to finishing that edit? Or what? I've actually got my stampedes. There's one of them. Right there. The other one on the floor. Right there. And then the other one is right there. 3 of them. 3 tracks of Stampede Monster Jams. I get Brutus back out. And this is on the bench for something else I'm working on. Tell you guys about soon. Got so many projects. Look at this nice piece of dirt. That must have been on the inside of the wheel. Trash can. So what's cool about these Cow RC mats, other than being magnetic, is I can now pick this up, take it to my trash can, and dump it out. So that's nice. I can just dump all the dirt off. I don't have a brush up here, but I did find my toothbrush. That ain't gonna work. Well, it'll work some. Knock some of this off of here, and then I'll take this mat over and dump it in the trash. Wipe it down with some paper towels and water, and be back in business. But I don't remember why I didn't wash this one down after I broke it. Usually when I break them, I don't wash them so I don't lose any parts that may have broken, so I can diagnose it. But yeah, it'll clean down all right. Paul Clancy, thanks. My monster trucks are up here. You know, I've got a couple extra bodies up there. A Max D, brand new. I've got a brand new Son of a Digger Traxxas Stampede body up there as well. Those are tough to get. Freestyle RC, Pro C, storm damage there. And then that's a custom Son of a Digger chassis. Megalodon, which is SMT10. Gunslinger is a CPE. They're retro time warper. That's what it's called. Clodbuster. Got Sen Racing, not Clodbuster, sorry, Sen Racing HL150 next to a Clodbuster, which is custom chassis by Jason Saunders. Then I've got a Traxxas Stampede Son of a Digger with the J Concepts conversion kit to a monster truck that I got from Joshua Sanford, who was in here earlier. Next to a really mint bullhead, beautifully painted and decaled. This is what the Pro C actually looks like right here. I don't know if you guys have seen these. Some of you guys may or may not have. Let me make space to set it here on the for you guys to get a good look at it. Oh, I got a couple Clodbusters on the floor. Hate to get this dirty. Oh well, we'll deal with it. So this crazy contraption is the Freestyle Pro C solid axle monster truck. Do you have sound boxes in any of them? I do in the Son of a Digger custom chassis. Good night, Jess. So this is the transmission by Freestyle RC. It's beautiful. Looks like they're stock ones, and it's smooth. Super smooth. Metal gears, all that. It's just a beautiful piece of machining. And that goes in the middle here. The axles, I have aluminum axles. And this is the aluminum version of the Pro C. This is the older one. They're now carbon fiber, which are what my other two. These are beasts. You run shorty packs on the side here. They butt right up against the transmission, holds them in place. But got the cantilever lay down shocks, and they just when you hit, it just sticks to the ground. Almost no rebound. It's unbelievable how these handle. But look at these arms. Just really, really nicely done. Very, very well thought out machine. Pro Mod. It's something that is part of my need to build this year lineup of cars. As I'll probably be buying less and working on finishing more things that I have to do. Next videos maybe, what can I talk about? So I've got a couple. So I have that Pro C to do. I have a J Concepts regulator to do, barefoot. And I have the regulator axles as well. So that's going to be a fun build. Kevin Gibbs says, work of art. Will these perform like the SMT smaller? Paul, it's about the same size as the SMT, honestly. See you, Airborne RC. Yeah, hit it with the garden hose and thumb pressure washer. Guy in a moose. I love it. Simple green, Tank says that works awesome. JMRC, need a bigger hammer to knock off it. I saw these ones come through. Hilarious. Just want to go back and read some of them. But yeah. Good name for a truck, anger management. Yes. I should put anger management stickers on this. I've got my Cricut over there. I could do it. I like it. Gregory's Art and RC watching from Virginia. Very cool. We're streaming from Virginia. Chesapeake. In fact, this is for my dentist in Chesapeake. But yeah, so we've got that. I need to finish up the back on that. Well, I want to do a couple run videos still with the semis, figure out how to put those into play on the channel. But I have the Max D and the Soldier of Fortune to make like my Gravedigger for the Can-Ams. I need to finish that project. I'm gonna write down a list and then prioritize. Because I do want to finish the Pro C. What can lift? You can see I've got a year's worth of stuff probably to do. I've got the ZEI chassis that has the rear cantilever shocks by Freestyle RC. And I need to finish that. I have a Monster Jam Gravedigger, SMT10. Man, I said all the words that were not the right words. I have an SMT10 Gravedigger in a box that's going to become a mud truck, King Sling, purple-bodied King Sling that sits on the green chassis. Looks really good. Really good. One second.
Okay, so I have what I said, the two Freestyle RCs, the Pro C, the ZEI, and then I've got the mud truck. I've got the two tanks that I want to do. The Boys Can-Ams. I've got the LMT roller behind me that I have to figure out what I want to do with. And that might be most of it. Oh, I still want to do a micro. I have this micro kit here to do an SCX 24 monster truck. So those are kind of what I'm looking at. It should get me through most of the year on top of run videos. But I have most of the parts for those projects that I've mentioned stored up. It's stuff I was getting last year. And so I just now that I bought the tractor, I'm not going to be spending nearly as much on RCs. Let's just say that. I've got fixed expenses for the channel now that I have to pay monthly. And yeah, from music, it's amazing when you start kind of getting it going. The music licensing and different things. I do now have Adobe costs. I'd mentioned that it was a cost I had one that I don't have with the Final Cut. Well, now because I do all my graphic stuff in Photoshop, I do have this cost. Plus, I have to have Premiere for some clients. That's what they want me to edit in. And I tell them it takes longer. And half the time I edit it in Final Cut. And then at the end, I use a program to pair it over to Premiere. But anyway, NCS CS. What other trucks are coming out that you're not telling us about? I haven't told you about the new Unimog from Tamiya, but that's been announced. The Trax truck from Tamiya, which has been announced. We haven't talked about it. There's only one car that I know of that is already kind of out, and it'll be coming out. But that's it. I only know of one. You heard an 8S Typhon? Okay, now that would be sweet. If they actually took it full fifth scale, like a low C5B, that would be even more insane. Gregory's Art and RC. Are you from Virginia? Yes. Chesapeake area. Eastern Virginia. We're on the coast. It's been rainy. It's going to get cold here for a little bit. But not too bad. So Bryce is in the house and wants me to play some music. Play some music. I don't have any music queued up. I got to make sure it's copyright allowed as well. So there's that problem. Glen Allen area. That's cool. Raining all day. So I don't know if people have noticed it all in any of the videos, but we got a metal roof put on, and so when it rained, everyone said it's going to be so loud, but it wasn't that bad. It was actually inside pretty quiet, but it was outside that you could hear it, and it sounded so cool. It sounded like almost like a waterfall. So that was really, really cool. Hector Santos, you finished, and I just started wrenching on my RCs. I've got stuff to do, that's for sure. I'm not done. The night is young here. What I have to do is more of this video, but I know that's not as entertaining for everybody to watch. They're not interested in the edit processes, but you can see the damage I did. So that's pretty cool. It actually isn't as bad as it looks. There's a little plate that goes on here and holds this hinge pin retainer in place. I don't know the name of it. I think maybe that's what it is, hinge pin retainer. And it's the metal one, and it goes right in there. And then the bumper skid kind of that holds the bumper screws through that and into the bulkhead, and it ripped out, and it ripped through that bumper, but it's still kind of pulled out. So I don't know if I'm going to need a whole new bulkhead or if I'm going to be able to thread that back in. That's the question mark. But I've been known to just throw a little dab of glue on and just stick them back in and see what happens. It's either way, it's broken. I got to do some repairing. So why not try and make it live a little bit? JMRCs. Yeah, the mud does make it look worse. It's just jammed in there with mud. Hey, Bars and Tone RC, what's up? Oh, shoot. Black Market RC, cough, cough, BRD, cough, cough. I have the BRD sitting right there. It was behind my table, so that's why I didn't see it. But I have the BRD, which is going to be my sticker bomb 1.0 All of that is going to go over to the BRD chassis. I will probably rebody it. I don't know. I have thoughts. I'm not going to do, I don't think I'm going to do a Gravedigger body on it. But it means I'll have to get another body painted, or I'll have to paint another body. Thank you for the coughing, Black Market RC. I did mention the minis. I did mention the mini SMTs or SCX 24s. Whatever the numbers are in letters. Duct tape it. I don't think duct tape is going to work, man. Ooh, Paul Clancy says, working on his Mini T today, trying to fit a 380 motor. Hobby Wing 30 amp ESC. That's going to be in there tight. Yeah, so I need to make a list and kind of start hammering through it. Because it is a big list. So that's why I'm trying to stay away from just constant new stuff, because then I can't get to the stuff that I bought because I really want to do. There's a little bit of a difference. You guys know how that is. And so much stuff has been coming. It's like, you have to do it. There's like obligation in a way to do it. You're not forced to, but you feel like you should. And there's other stuff that does come out that you want to do, like the LMT was one for sure. That was that. Putting yours right at the top there, Black Market, BRD. LMT roller, 2 tanks. Got to keep myself organized here. Oh, the Can-Am, the Juniors. Shoot, I still got to do a lot of work on my buggy. I've got my my low-C buggy there, and I bought some parts and upgrades for it that I got to do. NCSCS, do freestyle braces work good for the LMT? They worked awesome for me. I actually just got a new set in here for my race truck. They're nice and lightweight. Easy to put on. So, JER. Chassis for the LMT. What's this sneak peek that popped in? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The retro, the regulator. So we got at least a working list now, so that helps. So mud truck, I'm gonna do that first because it's easy. I can hammer it out. I'm not doing any changes to the motors or anything. It's just kind of a for show truck. So we're gonna do the King Sling, leave it stock, change the tires out to the Fling Kings, and then that's done pretty much. It'll go on a shelf. It'll look good. LMT roller, JER chassis. So that's something to talk about. I have the JER add-on chassis. I need to actually, I got that box here to talk to you about Black Market. But this is going to bolt on basically to the existing mainframe, and then I can get rid of the plastic one, and it'll make it lighter, but kind of keep the cage look for Landon. Gives a little support. So it's an option for LMTs, but that won't be my first thing. So I've got my Pro Cs to race right now. Those are going to be my race trucks because I actually did good with them recently and won with them. So I'm going to kind of stick it out. I finally got 2 matching trucks. for racing with, and so that's kind of something I want to stick with, especially since I did well with them the last time I raced. I don't find time for all these projects, man. That's why they're still waiting. I got those bodies painted. I sent them away to be painted last March, right before COVID. And then he got just slammed, backlogged, whatever. I didn't get them back until September, maybe, but I haven't done anything with them yet. So it's already back around to February almost. The regulator chassis and the barefoot body for that I bought probably a month and a half, 2 months ago. And then I just got the regulator chassis or axles for my birthday, the beginning of January. So those are new. The Black Market RC BRD chassis, that came in early January as well. So that was a December kind of purchase. Before the tractor, before all that stuff. And I had a good December YouTube wise. So I was trying to get some projects loaded up, which thankfully I did. The ZEI I got back at that race in Connecticut. So that was back in like October. And I haven't touched it. I got the tank all worked up and bought. That was the Kyosho Trail Runner. So that's been a while. That tank's been sitting up there. I still need to find somebody to do the paint for it or a wrap to give it that Gravedigger tracks look to it. There's a lot. I have not kept up with them, so that's the problem. Someone's saying, Gregory, I have one too. I missed, what was that? Gregory, do you know any good hobby shops in VA? I think that all of our hobby towns are great in VA. I know the family that owns it. They're awesome people. And I think they treat people right. So, and they own, I think most of them, 5 or 6 hobby towns in Virginia. So that's where I go to. There is also, why am I blanking on the name? Coastal RC. It's an indoor speedway. And so they're opening a shop now, but it's got racetracks and crawler courses indoors, mini Z indoors. Awesome place. Really awesome, fantastic place. But it's in Chesapeake, kind of Norfolk area. Black Market. What I do? You didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. That's the problem. I'll talk to you on Facebook. So first ARRMA tomorrow, Big Rock. What was the first thing you did to yours out of the box? RPM arms already on the way. The first thing I did to my Big Rock out of the box was I did a video unboxing it. It's kind of what I do. And then I threw a 3S battery in it and I bashed the thing. That's what I did. It doesn't need anything. I don't think the body needs any changing. It's one of the coolest looking RCs, I think, in my opinion. Everybody has their opinions on what's cool and what's not. I think the look of it is just killer. It's one of my favorite looking RCs out of the box. That all black, the front end of it looks super tough. I mean, it even looks good sitting over there all muddy. The wheels and tires, they're better than they were. But I would like a little bit bigger tire on it, a little wider, a little more monster truck style. But other than that, it's pretty good. Carla, Galvin. Dude, it's not that easy to just play music on here, man. There's so many copyright laws. So many. I can't just pull up anything and play it. And most of the stuff I have wouldn't work well underneath this because it's heavy stuff for videos. But you seem to copy and paste that in there a lot. But you guys don't see that because you're on YouTube side. So you're not getting spammed by it. So it's all right. The Mini T, good practice, durable little RC. Matter of fact, CCX RC had one. I still have it. It's awesome. I want the Mini B actually because they've got some guys up there running them at our local track, that indoor one at Coastal RC Speedway, and it's they're pretty wicked. When you put in that little dynamite fuse, all in one kind of combo motor ESC, that thing was quick. Tank, what's your next RC purchase? Probably something irrational like what's the El Camino? Probably like the El Camino. I don't know. I don't have a use for it. I shouldn't. If I bought anything right now, there's nothing out there that I want. That's the problem. The mini Z buggy is kind of cool. They've talked about running those at our local hobby town. That could be fun with a little bit of jumps and stuff. But if what would my next RC purchase be would probably be wheels and tires or a motor. A motor kit for that. Either the LMT up there if I'm not happy with something I have for that, although I do have a Holmes Hobby Polar Pro that I plan to put into the EXB. But I didn't hold on to the EXB. I ended up selling it before I opened it just because I ran out of time. But I want to do that drag truck still, but I need to get something that's censored for it. Where do you get paddles for the Mini T? I haven't seen those yet. I would wonder though if the axial ones would fit on there for the Can-Am Yeti Junior. They probably would. Wooderson, I have a Mini T with paddle tires. That's cool. He says he's had them for a long time. Okay. Yeah, I would look at the you just need the hex size, right, to work. I would look maybe at, they might be a little big for the Can-Am ones, actually. It'd be kind of tall. What's going on, Deontay? About ready to wrap it up here. The Sherp. I want the Sherp. I don't want the Sherp at all. It looks fun, but not for the cost. Gregory's Art and RC. The Mini B's weak point is the front shock tower. I have a video on that going out tomorrow. Gregory's Art in RC. I need to subscribe. I don't think I am. Gregory's Art in RC. Typing it in right now. And I'm not subbed, but now I am. And thumbnails look fun. The mini stuff is cool because of the indoor usability of it. So I'd love to do those more. Tony had a used 5,000 Hobby Wing. Is that for my Mini T, the Hobby Wing? I put a Hobby Wing in it in the Mini T, and I still do have it in there. Tank, what would you get for your next RC? That's the real question. Wooderson Kiefer is your Instagram? I thought so. Wicked videos. Oh yeah, the trophy truck stuff. Those are wicked videos. You go out with WFORC and Fresh Squeezed, right? That's where I remember all your stuff from. 64 is the next RC you choose, Tank. Deontay Heeb says, finally drove my own T. I love it. Got it because of you. Thank you. Yeah, man. I mean, they can break. I'm not getting around that. I sent a message to the designer of the LMT at Losi today because I know that, well, on YouTube and all that, we get a whole bunch of flack. You guys know it. A lot of you guys do it. You get a whole bunch of crap as well in messages and whatnot. A lot of negativity is, keyboard warriors are out there. And so I figured that most people that they get and they hear from aren't the people that love the truck. And so I've broken it. I've talked about things that I would change, all of that. It's still just one of the hands down most fun RC cars I've ever driven. There's just something about the way that it handles and it corrects itself and it gets squirrely and you can save it. And it's just wicked fun. There's the jumping factor of it. And that's not even the best part. Like Big Air with it, that's not where it's fun. The scale side of it is where it's really fun because it looks, the way that it moves and gets upset. They see the truck got upset when it gets kind of just the wheels getting crooked and coming off a jump wrong. It just looks so realistic, especially when you slow motion it a little bit and the speed and all of the motion is more visible. It's just one of the coolest. So I just stopped. I took a minute today, and I encourage all of you guys too to do it too. These companies hear about all the crap. Oh, my axle broke. Yeah, my axle broke. The paint sucks. My paint job's crooked. And those are unfortunate things for sure. At the cost, whatever. I look beyond so much of that stuff because I just literally take out of the box and run it and have fun. But it just feels so realistic. And I don't know. I just have a ball with it. So, and I've spent, like people are like, oh, the axles to get them are so. But if it's your favorite truck or your best truck you put your money into, the crawler guys spend way more money. They do the metal axles. They do all that stuff. Why do we complain when we have to do it to ours? They do it on their scale trucks because they break them when they fall off a rock. Same thing. Solid axles break. They're not even really jumping theirs or sending it. It can fall off of a cliff and hit on the side and break. We're jumping ours, doing flips, just tweaking that leverage right onto those wheels. And so it'll break. Cody Vandenberg, you need an RC intern for cleaning and wrenching. Every once in a while, Jeremy helps me out. It's been tough with COVID, and he's had a lot going on with working on his house. He bought a house, and he's been working a lot on that. So what he can, he's on disability, so he can't do a lot. But there's still, it takes up time you know, with the contractors and everybody coming out. He has 6 to build now. Oh my gosh, Tank does. That's right. He doesn't need any more RCs either. Well, Wooderson, man, Wooderson Kiefer, keep up making those awesome Instagram videos. Bring them over here, man. Now that they've got this shorts, it'll just blow up your channel, man. Hopefully, and if RC Lemonade or Fresh Squeezed RC doesn't know about those shorts, man, that's what he's doing, and YouTube is pushing him. His everything will grow like crazy if he starts doing that because they're getting eyeballs on him right now. Well, Captain Flannel Tank, but really, CC, if I had the money, I'd get the Tamiya Volvo Globetrotter. Okay, the tow truck. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Deontay says the way it drives is like nothing I've had. It's so realistic, right? That's what it is. That is the money about that truck. Will it be the best racer? It's not better than my Pro Cs, that is for sure. But the Pro Cs, I mean, I paid. I paid for mine completed at the end of an event. Like $1,200 for it. Complete truck. Wheels, tires, motor. Ended up taking the motor out of the first one. I didn't like how it was. Put my own motor ESC receiver in it. So it ended up being even more. So about $1,500. So that's not even in the same league as the LMT. But realism wise, the LMT hands down is one of the most realistic looking handling trucks. And the Freecell RCs are the toughest trucks that I've ever owned. But you can break rod ends on them. The rods, the links are pretty small on them, and you can air it out, and you'll never break the axles or anything else, but you'll break that little 50-cent rod end off it. And, you know, you can put it back on in like 3 minutes. Not a big deal. Get back out, keep bashing, just keep a bag of them with you. But the LMT just keeps going and going, other than the axle can break. But that's because nothing else does give. The rest of the truck is just like unreal. The drivetrain in it is insane. You're not blowing any gears, any of that stuff in it. You know, some people did get some that were missing a bearing or screws, like 3 out of the 4 screws that hold on the end of the axle. That kind of stuff is like, yeah, definitely get that taken care of. And you know what? Horizon's taking care of everybody. They're very good about that. But that's what they hear. And so that's where I encourage you guys, if you know any of the people that work at Low C, or you've seen, you know, Chris Higa, he posts in all of the LMT groups, and he tries to be helpful and give part numbers and stuff like that for parts if people are looking for them. Hit the message button on them, and if you like the truck, let them know, because all they get is the crap. Oh, you should have done this or that, or mine's junk, or I broke it. So anyway, everybody likes a little bit of positivity. Which of your trucks has the best control in the air? The Big Rock flies awesome. If not the Big Rock, probably the Tenacity DB Pro is one of the better handling ones in the air. I just love how that thing jumps. Hey, how's it going, Pigeon Kicker? Hoopty, hot hoopty night. Oh, you got the anniversary mini T. That's awesome. See you, GRC. Keep sending it, Wooderson. Do RC shorts help? Well, I mean, from what I've seen, when I pop on my computer here in my hand is, whoop, I see a live video or something. Well, I see myself first of all. That's weird. Now I see Gregory's art channel because I just subbed to him, so I'm seeing a video there. I see stories. They tell you how many people seen it and the subscribers gained because they want you to be using that feature. Here, I got to turn that. I got to change the focus. Maybe this will allow me to change focus and let you guys see this. Maybe not. There. That's really bright. Turn down my screen. There. So it's saying that now my phone is brightening up because of it. Stop it. Too dim. Whatever. It says that there's 17,000 people saw the story and I gained 38 subscribers. I only posted like one thing to my story. That's a lot of eyeballs they're throwing at the stories. And then there's short videos here. And earlier today, I saw an RC one. Yeah, manual self-writing demo feature. That middle one there. That will not focus. There. Anyway, 663,000 views by Hong Shu, who has 1.4 thousand subscribers to his channel. So that number of views for a simple how to just showing the truck, a Traxxas self-writing, 663K views. That's insane. So, can it help you? They're pushing it. All you got to do is shoot upright or edit it and make it upright and post it. It can be up to 60 seconds long. And you just in your title put hashtag shorts. And that's it. It'll put it in that little area. So does it help? I think it probably does. But I am not Mr. YouTube Guru. I've done some studying. But I think that it gives you a chance of getting some extra subs that way and some definite eyeballs on your stuff. Hey, Breaking Silence, what's up? Yeah, Pigeon Kicker. It's crazy what videos take off sometimes. It is crazy. You almost can't be formulaic with it because some of that stuff you just don't expect to do anything. And it does. But I don't shoot anything upright. So I have to bring it all into an editing system and make an upright frame and put it in there. Which is what I did today. Anyway, looking at something that just popped into my screen here. That I was trying to see if it's something to talk about or not, but I don't see it. Hey, what's going on, Innovative RC? Yep. Description short. Pigeon kicker for you. It's usually the short 30-second or minute ones. So the algorithm for so many things before on YouTube and the main thing for people sitting at TVs or at their computer are going to be different. So it's a different viewer that they're targeting with the shorts that are going to be on their phone. That little shorts thing currently doesn't show up on your screen if you're on YouTube right now. So like on a computer, but it may change. But I don't see, so much of their niche of being YouTube is about having content people can learn from and not being the TikTok just throwaway stuff. So it's kind of a change and shift in their thinking in some ways. But I mean, YouTube is my main search engine now. If I want to learn something, I don't typically go to Google. I go to YouTube and look it up and get info. And so shorts and stuff like that don't really interest me on the YouTube marketplace of ideas. Brian Lopez says, first couple of videos of the Big Rock convinced me to buy one. Just got it today. That's awesome, man. I just fixed mine today. Still doesn't look like it, but it's fixed. RPM arms on it now in the front. Gregory's Art and RC. Yeah, same. I always go to YouTube. Yeah, and people looking for college, that's where they go. So many things they're finding that people go to YouTube for information. So it's pretty cool to be a part of that. But again, I don't like the stories on Instagram. I don't like that they're adding too many things to try to keep up with. I don't like the story feature on YouTube. That's just one more thing to keep up with. Like I'm already spending enough time making the videos and repairing the cars. And, at some point you're just killing yourself trying to keep up with all the things that they think you want to be doing and sharing. And it's crazy. So I really limit the stories and stuff that I do on Instagram. I very rarely use that feature. I know a lot of people use it all the time. I think it's dumb. I think all the little GIFs and stuff and the little floating things and all over the pictures, it's messy. I'm old. I'm the adult in the room now, so it doesn't interest me. I'd rather have the nicer full-on stuff that's in the actual feeds. And the way I see it is if it's disposable, then why bother? So I use YouTube to fix a lot of stuff on my real trucks. So that's cool, man. I learned so much. Like I said, I didn't know anything about real cars. I didn't know anything about half the stuff I do. Tractors, I've been doing. If you went through my feed right now, it'd all be tractor stuff. How to do stuff with tractors, which tractor to buy, which one can lift more, which one sells for more, like what's the resale value. So that was one of the big buying things behind buying the tractor instead of renting one all the time. Is that I would actually pay more renting one because the resale on tractors is so high. So you're paying in a lot, but it doesn't depreciate like a car. But yeah. The shorts will be great for run vids. People are already doing it on Facebook in groups and stuff. They're throwing in quick little. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. It's a quick jump, whatever. I could see that. If you don't have enough to make a whole video or whatever. But then you only see a little bit and then it jumps to the next person's story that you might not even want to watch. And that's where it's dumb to me. They're trying to get you into this like roll. It rolls from one to the next. And it's like Facebook video. I'll watch like a 5-second RC video. And then the next thing you know, I'm watching like Russian car crashes. I'm like, what the heck? Like, some guy getting beat down on the street corner somewhere, and like, what? That has nothing to do with what I just watched. Anyway. Hot hoopty, yeah. When I do videos, I don't cut or edit or anything. I mess up, you'll see it. Innovative RC, did you get rid of your Max, your Outcast, and your Creighton 4S? No, I got rid of my Max, my Haas, my Creighton 4S, and my team associated MT10, and my Tamiya lunchbox style Unimog style truck. And a couple others, I think. I just actually, right over here is my Outcast that I was doing a bash video with and showing how to edit, my edit process and all that. So this is the anniversary edition one. Just ripping it around the backyard. It's really fun. So I said I need to add some music to it, but I was just editing basically a whole video together, showing the process. So this is actually where I'm sitting right now to give a little spatial awareness. This is my desk in front of me here, which is where I'm looking right now. And just behind me in this is the whole work area. I've got the roll down paper if I want it. I don't ever use it. My crawler course over the other shoulder back here. My Cricket, cool Gravedigger, old vintage poster. And a whole bunch of crap on the floor you can't see because my body's covering it. Just getting back in the hobby. I'm thinking about a Big Rock, his first one, or one of the 3S models. Any of them are awesome. If you like jumping, bashing, whatever, I think the Big Rock is the best of the bunch. The Sentin is super durable, but it's smaller wheels. The terrain, it can't handle as tall a grass and some of the terrain as easily. It'll, big clumps of dirt or mud or whatever will kind of send it off track a little bit. But they're all pretty awesome. Any of the 3S lineups are really cool. Fun fact, my dog's name is Hoss. Fun fact, that's one of the reasons why it's like Hoss? What? For a truck name? Yeah, somehow pimple popping showed up when I watched a couple of RC car videos. Why? I don't know. What's up, Drift Craze? Saul Zuniga. Yeah, I mean, the Big Rock, and I've had, so ARRMAs that I've had now, first infraction, second infraction, felony, Creighton 8S. I haven't had a 6S Creighton yet. I have the Creighton 4S, which is an awesome, awesome car. I donated it to like a children's thing in Texas, working with boys who don't have fathers for whatever reason in their life. And so it's somebody that works with them, teaching them how to work on cars and learn technical things. It's like a camp thing. So I donated them that and the Max, just because they were both good cars and get parts and they're fun to use. So give them something fun. And then I had the Granite 3S, the Sentin Mega. I have two of the Sentin 3S's, and now I have the Big Rock 3S, and I have a Typhon 6S and an Outcast 6S. And probably my favorite so far of all of them is the Big Rock. I mean, the Outcast and what I did with it today was fun and it's awesome. It's really, really solid car. It's more batteries. It's kind of a pain putting dual batteries in. And yes, I could buy a 6S battery, but those are expensive. When I can just buy a 3S battery and go 50 miles an hour with a Big Rock, it's stupid durable out of the box. The paint scheme with that sick black and the bumper, it just looks good. Wheelie bar is great on it. Don't need, like, the front bumper on that lineup doesn't kind of tweak out like the 6S lineup does, like what happened to my Outcast, and it's happened to it several times. Where is it at? Right there. So I lost the bumper and it pulls out the hinge pin retainer and all that came out. Anyway, I did really like the Creighton 8S though. It was just something that I could sell that had value to it. And so I sold it. And because I needed space, I have so many big ones right now. Just got the Outcast 8S and have to check diff fluid before first run. It's killing me. I didn't check mine. I just ran it. But Paul Clancy, my dog's name is Losi. That's cool. Anyway, guys, we've been going for 2.5 hours. Wow. That's kind of long. I didn't finish editing this video because people weren't that interested in it. So I'm going to go because I was supposed to be getting things done, and getting things done meant finishing that video. Because if I don't finish that video tonight, the chances of me finishing it tomorrow go down to 50%. It's a little higher if I've already started, but I need to get it done. So it gives me about 2 hours to try and hammer it out and upload it, which should be doable because I've got most of it done. So you guys have a good night, and we'll catch you all later. Have fun RCing. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's always fun. Trying to just read some of the comments, going through it right now. It's even when I try and keep up, I can't keep up with all of them. Cool. I think I got most of the major ones, guys. You know who is live is RC Amigos. So if you guys are looking for a live to jump in on, that would be one to jump in on. I will probably, while I'm editing, be listening and jumping over there to comment on stuff. So RC Amigos right here. I thought he was live tonight, 9:30. Oh, so in 30 minutes. Yeah, he's West Coast. So in 30 minutes, he'll be going live with Josh Digger Rhodes from Trigger King Racing, is who I believe he's live with. And so I will, as I edit, like I said, I'll be in the chat. Look at KLN's Bounty Hunter. That is so cool looking. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want copyright strike stuff. Shock's coming out just like the Bounty Hunter. Even on the side, you can see into him. That's wicked. All right. But I was going to show RC Amigos and see if he mentions his show. Yes, here. Countdown. It was 22 hours ago he posted this. So it's tonight. that they're going to be doing it. Let me try and just go to his channel just to be sure. If he has a little poster set anywhere here. Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. PST. Cloudbuster Talk, Retro RC, LMT class. Could there be a better RTR? Taco Bar RC with Josh Rhodes. So definitely, guys, go in and if you're not subscribed to him yet, go sub to him and get alerts for when he goes live. Should be good. And always, the more people there are in the chat, the more fun it is and engaging for them, but also for the people in the chat. So join me in there in 30 minutes, guys, and we will catch you next time.